Hey, Inspector! The door's wide open.
Well, who'd have guessed? His lordship has a key. I'll have to take that as evidence. Sorry.
You'll probably be interested in the torture videos, too.
Torture videos?
Yeah, Phil's got a whole secret compartment full. They're gone.
Perhaps your corpse was bored.
Wait a minute, there must be one still in the video recorder.
Turn that off. That's sick. Where's the guy who filmed this?
I guess it was Phil, but you don't see him, though.
I'll take that tape as evidence. Okay, and where's the corpse?
The corpse has disappeared, too?
This is starting to get quite implausible, don't you think?
Tom must have been here. He tried to cover his tracks. That's why the other videos are gone, too.
Tom? Or you?
I've got nothing to do with it. I'll prove it. Don't you think this cellar is kind of suspicious?
I think suspicious is a little bit of an understatement.
Just a minute.
What about this corpse?
Yeah, just a minute. Phil locked me in this compartment. Hey, Inspector, you might be interested in this. It's not Phil's corpse, but perhaps you'll believe me now?
It must be dead at least a couple of weeks.
And a couple of weeks ago, I was sitting quietly in the cell.
Okay, Phil really does have something to answer for. And it would seem he's good at his profession. Otherwise, I'd have heard of him ages ago.
I bet Tom's got something to do with this, too.
First, we'll go back to the station. I'll send Zach over here to pick up the body.
I've got something else I need to do.
You're coming with me first. I need to record your statement. Oh! Stay where you are! Tom!
So now I've got time to have a look at the stone circle, then. That looks very promising. Some steps? I wasn't expecting such luxury. I wonder what's waiting for me down there. Amazing. Yep, that's got it. Tree roots, so I must be directly under the surface of the ground. They're not gonna help me. I wonder if this cave was formed naturally, or if someone or something gave a helping hand. About 4 meters wide and... oh, it's not that deep at all. A few 100 meters, maybe. There are fluorescent, things hanging everywhere. They look like huge glowworms. They're not moving. Are those some kind of writing symbols on the wall? None of it means anything to me, I'm afraid. Some kind of a thing. Difficult to know exactly what it is from here. If I'm not mistaken, that's exactly the same kind of portal as there is in the academy. Was, before it was filled in. The pit's way too wide to jump across. The ladder would make a decent bridge over the pit. I'll try it. So what have we got here then? An ancient comic? It looks like a kind of picture-based script. Let's see if I can work any of it out. Some guy carrying a black ball. He's wearing a long robe. Or a dress. It could be some holy character. Or a priest. Then he lies down with the black ball and some other guys wearing dresses stand around him. Weird. And here they're taking the guy with the ball's head off? Wait. Could it be some kind of burial ritual? Or an execution? I'll take a quick photo. Maybe I'll find someone who knows about hieroglyphics. I've got myself a copy of the hieroglyphics now. I've seen one of these before, in the academy. Angelina placed a black ball in it, and then the portal opened. I think she'd stolen it from the museum, but now she's dead, and she had the ball with her when my mother threw her to her death. Opening mechanism for the portal. I'm not gonna get any further here without a black ball. An inactive portal, just like the one in the academy. Angelina was able to open it using a weird black ball thing. Hello, Doctor? Can I ask you a quick question? Hi, Doc.
Adrian, what can I do for you?
Tell me, Doc, have you had a look at the museum here?
To be honest, no. I've never been, and I never will.
It's probably better that way. She'd probably hit the roof if she saw the Heinz Hermann heads. Then, I guess you don't know anything about the black ball?
I'm sorry, no.
Look at this.
What is it?
Some kind of hieroglyphs, I think. Are you familiar with this kind of thing?
With hieroglyphs? No. But I think I've got a book about it. Just a minute. Here, I bought this before my holiday in Egypt. But I've never read it. Perhaps there's something in there that interests you.
Thanks. Bye, Doc.
Look after yourself, Adrian.
That could take a little time right now. Okay then, there are a few signs which are in other languages as well. I'm definitely not gonna find any others in here. I'm pretty sure that the script from the cavern is not in this book. Pity. But it was worth a try. There's something here on the last page. Dr. Winterbottom, thanks for the loan. The text was very enlightening. Best wishes, Edward. I don't have anything to ask. Various pamphlets on the history of Willow Creek. The river diversion, the old academy, skeletal finds, excavations, the dangers of swamps, and so on. Nothing really interesting there. All of the pamphlets were put together by this Edward guy. He seems to be really interested in history and archaeology. Sadly, there's hardly any information about the excavations or a black ball. At least nothing that helps me any. Here we can see a typical Willow Creek tourist couple, probably on a romantic honeymoon. Excuse me, may I ask you something?
Gozlady. Svetlanushka, look. They even got a Darren Michaels lookalike.
Fantastic! He looks so much like the real thing!
What do you want to ask, Yunosha?
I hope you're not gonna miss the black ball. Unfortunately, it was stolen a few weeks ago.
Нет, we saw last time here.
They are here just for corpses. It's done very well. Очень красиво.
Thank you. I'll pass the compliment on. Would you mind taking part in a little survey? We're planning a new exhibition about ancient dark powers that have been doing evil in Willow Creek for thousands of years.
Отлично!
The lettering should of course suit it. What do you think about these kind of hieroglyphs?
What a kaya chunya! It looks like children's book from Egypt. No horror. Boring.
More death, da.
I'm sure we can manage that. Thank you. Enjoy our museum.
We do that.
I don't want to keep the tourists. Edward,
Sir?
all on your own today?
Denise is ill.
But wasn't she here this morning?
Yes. She went down with a virus all of a sudden.
Might that be the, Conrad Spooner virus?
I think it's got plenty of names. Whatever the case, it doesn't just make you unfit for work. It makes you unfit for marriage, too.
I'm very sorry, Edward.
Well, anyway, it's not infectious.
The last time you were in the museum, did you ever look at that black ball?
Yes. Apparently, it was the only thing of any value in there. That's why it got stolen. However, I still ask myself to this day what it was supposed to be exactly. It was too dark for a kind of crystal ball like fortune tellers use. What's your opinion?
Well, it certainly wasn't a bowling ball. You're interested in ancient history?
Quite true, sir. You could say it's a hobby of mine. I've been collecting ancient coins from different cultures for years now. You build up quite a substantial knowledge doing that, you know.
Fantastic. Could you take a look at this and tell me what you make of it?
Oh, yes. I've seen this script before somewhere. It's druidic. Very old.
Can you read it?
Reading might be an exaggeration. It's more a kind of pictorial story. I think it's a description of a burial ritual. Yes, that could well be the case. Here, the dead person seems to be some kind of ecclesiastical person. A priest, if you will. You can see that by the crooked staff. That symbol was often used for spiritual leaders.
And he has a black ball in his hand. Are you saying that it could be like one of those that was in the museum?
Oh, you could even be right there. If that's the case, then I'm not at all surprised it was stolen. It would be worth a fortune.
Might it be possible that there are more of them?
I wouldn't exclude that possibility. If it's some kind of a burial gift for priests, then there could be a chance you'd find one under a burial mound.
You mentioned a burial mound. Is there one around here?
Oh, yes, sir. There are supposed to be one or two around here. At least they discovered some a few years ago. It was even in the paper. Ah, now I remember where I recognize the hieroglyphics from. There was a photograph of the tomb in the paper, along with the research team. These kinds of hieroglyphics were engraved in the rocks.
A research team? Damn. I bet they cleared out the tomb completely.
You would think so. But you could...
I could what?
Excuse my tactlessness, sir. Miss Valley, she was involved with the excavation. A group of archaeology students were here in this area looking for pagan relics, and they discovered a burial mound quite by chance. It was quite an exciting event.
And, who else was involved in this enterprise?
Nobody I knew, I regret to say, sir.
Thanks anyway, Edward. You've helped me a lot.
Sir, would you happen to have a moment's time?
Yeah?
It's rather unpleasant for me to mention this so brashly, but Dr. Winterbottom said I ought to do it. Now, as master of Black Mirror Castle, would you happen to have any staff requirements? I would be most pleased to be able to work for you, sir.
Huh? What's gonna happen to the cafe if you're no longer here?
Oh, don't worry about that. Denise's father already has a new business idea, and I don't believe I'm the right sort of chap for it.
Is that so? Isn't the cafe doing so well? What could do better here in Willow Creek, then?
An undertaking business. Funerals, sir.
Huh. Of course. I should have thought of that myself. But I really don't know if I can actually use a butler. I need construction guys or a demolition company more urgently.
It is precisely a butler's job to look after such things.
Maybe you're right. Well then, why not come up to the castle tomorrow sometime? Then we can give it some more thought.
Thank you very much, sir.
Take care, Edward.
I'll do my best, sir.
Inspector Spooner,
Little
are you
boy.
trying to suck up to me, or are you pulling my leg?
You choose.
Have you arrested Tom?
They vanished into the woods. We've started a search.
This black ball that was stolen from the museum,
You want to give it back? That'd be very nice, of course.
so it hasn't turned up again.
No.
Have you seen anything like this before?
Something similar. In the cells on the wall.
There are supposed to be burial mounds in this area. Do you happen to know where any of them are?
You've just inherited a castle. Now you want to move again?
Couldn't you give me just one decent answer, please?
Ah, well. If it means so much, yeah. No, I don't know where you might find a burial mound.
Might you possibly be able to give me a tiny bit of information?
Really? I can't wait.
You searched Miss Valley's house, didn't you? Did you come across any kind of archaeological notes or drawings while you were at it?
Zach,
Hmm?
shouldn't you been off on the beat long ago? You know, Adrian, I get the feeling that our, let's call it a relationship, has got rather bogged down of late. You're constantly coming to me with some new request. It's always me who's supposed to give you something. I'm thinking it's time we changed all that.
Would you like to come with me to see Doc Winterbottom? Do some couple therapy?
Nice idea, but I've got something else planned. As you perhaps already noticed, I sometimes tend towards making quite hasty judgments. That's one of the reasons they redeployed me here to Willow Creek. I'd actually imagine my life as a police inspector somewhat differently.
Pursuits, shootouts, explosions.
You're looking into my very soul. But without some clear evidential success under my belt, I'm not going to be getting out of this dump all that quickly. And what with your circumstances having sadly changed somewhat.
What's supposed to have changed there? I'm innocent now, just like I always was.
But now your nobility, as you have so strikingly noticed. And here in good old England, that is a good reason to treat things with more of a feather-light touch. Or to put it another way, an error in such a case would definitely not be good for my career.
Have I got this right? You're crapping yourself because I own a castle now.
Perhaps it's still not too late to forget the whole thing and close the case. But to do that, I have to present the judge with something meaningful.
Is that a polite request for a confession? Are you kidding me?
No, you misunderstood me. The thing with Tom and that Phil is already a good start. Also, Murray has corrected his statement and given you an alibi for the Miss Valley murder. Seems to like you a lot, that bloke. But there's still this Lewis and Angelina woman. They're officially missing. But someone who's missing also can be a perpetrator. You do see that?
We're speaking the same language at last. What's happening with Miss Valley's house now? Have you found anything there?
We only found some photos of you, and we also took a few other things relevant to the case. If you think you can find something there that might bring this case to a close, then I'll let you have a look around the house.
Are we partners then?
Not the expression I'd use. Hey, but this conversation never took place, okay? Zach will go with you, and I want to be informed about everything.
Of course, Inspector. Goodbye.
Fare thee well, my lord.
Can I ask you something briefly?
Hmm?
Do you have any idea where Matt went to? I didn't see him in the village.
He was in the pub yesterday, but where is he today? Don't know. You could submit a missing persons report.
In the next life, maybe. Do you know the story of the Gordon brothers, Marcus and Mordred?
No, but I know the story of Tom and Bobby, and that's enough for me.
Okay. Constable, do you know what I'm doing right now? I'm looking for demonic portals. They were built here before the Holy Ghost had even dared think of Jesus.
Ah, yes. Well, happy hunting.
I found a bear trap in the woods. Are those kind of traps even allowed?
I know there are hunters out and about all year round, but I'm sure they don't use bear traps. There aren't any bears in England.
What are the traps for then? And who set them?
Maybe the bears have laid some to catch the hunters.
You've got a logical explanation for everything, haven't you? The most important thing for you is that you don't have to waste any time having a proper look at things.
That's what it looks like.
The inspector said that it wouldn't be a problem if I wanted to have a look at Miss Valley's house for myself, but that you should come along to keep an eye on me.
If that's what he said, I'll go and get the keys. Have fun with the search. Just tell me when you want to go. Stay down here, please.
What? Why? Maybe there's something worth looking at up there.
Miss Valley kept all of her papers down here. We've searched through everything upstairs and found nothing except a couple of photos of her brother Vic.
All right. An empty notepad.
What are you doing there?
I just wanted to take a piece of paper to take some notes. Newspaper clippings about Vic's murder. I can't imagine how anyone could murder a child so brutally. Now this could be interesting. Miss Valley's book collection. Let's take a look. English history and stories, Camelot and the Holy Grail. From William the Conqueror to Magna Carta. Aha, a folder from a university. Constable, can I take a look at this folder here?
That's just books about science and the like.
Was that a yes?
Okay by me, but don't take too long.
Anything against me taking a piece of coal?
I don't think anybody would have anything against that.
This trick has always worked before. That has to be the same letter as the one I found in the shack. You can still read a bit of it. In case we are unable to... the evil... we fail in our goal and the order never existed. Already sacrificed. That was never my intention. If the cursed one... I get it. This is Miss Valley announcing that the order should be disbanded should anything go wrong. That explains a lot.
What are you up to?
Maybe there's a secret trapdoor under the rug.
What a load of nonsense.
Old newspapers and a book with English children's songs. That's no use to me. Seems Miss Valley wasn't just scared of the Gordons. Miss Valley's brother Vic. She has quite a lot of pictures of him, but that's no surprise. She was pretty obsessed with his death, and particularly with his murderer, Samuel Gordon, my father. A wooden rocking chair. The backrest doesn't look particularly comfortable. She must have really loved her brother. I think they just don't have oil or gas in Willow Creek yet. Crockery with folkloric designs. Experts like me call them painted plates. No black ball. If I'm lucky, then nobody else will have found it either. Now all I have to do is find out exactly where this burial mound is. Now I've got something I can work with. Sector I-3 in the marsh. I've been round there already when I was looking for the portals. And there's a place where there are lots of small animal bones. I must be able to find that. Zach, I've seen enough. Let's go.
Please, put the folder away again, and then we can go.
Hello? As far as I can remember, there wasn't a pile of stones here yesterday. There's something wedged between the stones. A piece of paper. An envelope with my name on it. This is starting to get a bit creepy. An envelope with my name on it. No sender's address, nothing. Hope is the guardian's second virtue. It nourishes the wise, but it fools the measured, who mindlessly rest on its promises. The next weird message. I kind of expected it. Whoever's planned this little game with me knew I'd pass by the swamp. Small animal bones. It said in Miss Valley's research papers that she'd sent some of the bones to her institute. That would point to there being a burial mound somewhere here close by. I'll just have a try in this direction. Wasn't all that difficult to find. There are plenty of twigs and branches here. I'll take some dry ones. That could be a hole, or a symbol for a black ball. I think I've come to the right place. This tree must have been cut down decades ago, probably when they discovered the tomb. There are even more of these small animal skeletons. Maybe there's an owl roosting here. Or maybe something bigger? A spare menhir that was left over from building the tomb? The same hieroglyphics as on the stone tablet in the cavern. These places are definitely connected. I've never seen a burial mound from the inside. To be honest, never from the outside either. Let's see what awaits. It smells old here. Very old. The walls are made from solid pieces of stone. They must have needed hundreds of people to build this thing here. So, this is where they actually laid the dead. All empty. Nothing to be found. The floor is made of stone, covered with a layer of dirt. They sure couldn't have buried the ball. It's not worth it. I'm not gonna find anything like this. Mordred would definitely have known where to look. How come I'm not getting a vision now? Hey Mordred, where are you when you need it? Just a minute. That's not such a bad idea. If I don't take my pills and then wait here for long enough, I'm bound to have a vision sooner or later. I mean, why not here? Although it does say on the warning label that it's at least 2 weeks before the meds stop working. Maybe I can speed that up? Just a matter of how. There are small loose stones all over the place here. There are small loose... The wind's blown half the wood in here. No black balls down there. Hello. Hi, Doc.
Adrian, what can I do for you?
I think the medication is causing me problems.
What do you mean? Are you having negative side effects? Does it make you feel sick?
I, have the feeling that it's not working like it normally does today. Could it be that I've eaten something that's reducing the effect?
Have you drunk a lot of valerian tea or St. John's wort tea? These herbs can both impede the effect.
No, tea's not really my thing.
Perhaps you've taken some antacids for stomachache or heartburn? It would be better if you didn't. Medicines containing magnesium, in combination with drinks containing caffeine, inhibit the absorption of the active component of haloparadox into the blood. I should have told you that, I'm sorry.
That means it's not only valerian and St. John's wort I need to avoid, but also stomach medicines and coffee?
Not altogether, but 1 of 2 cups of coffee a day is not so bad. Just don't overdo it.
Your cough is getting worse every day. Bye, Doc.
Look after yourself, Adrian.
Hi. Abaya, have you got something for heartburn?
Yes. Yes, of course. I recommend bicarbonate of soda.
Does that contain magnesium?
No, it's just salt.
Have you got anything else?
If you need magnesium, you could also take an antacid. You need a prescription for it, but I'll make an exception for you.
Okay. I'd like a packet of coffee.
What kind? Decaffeinated or extra mild?
Don't you have extra strong?
Caffeine doesn't really agree with the older customers.
And what about this sack of coffee beans here?
That's the extra mild one. Should I pack you some?
No thanks. Have you got valerian tea or St. John's wort?
I'm afraid not. But I can order it for you. It takes about 2 days.
That's too long. I need it today.
Oh, well, I don't know.
See you.
Yes.
Edward?
Mr. Gordon, what can I do for you?
Can I buy a whole packet of coffee here, too?
But of course, sir. What variety would you like?
The strongest.
My pleasure. That's Colombian coffee, one of my favorite varieties.
Thanks. Take care, Ed.
I'll do my best, sir.
Tumulus valerian. That's exactly what I'm after. And the plant's already dried out. Ought to burn well, that stuff. An empty pot. I'm guessing the guy's here. And I can make myself tea or coffee with it. I'll just pour in a bit of water. It's a roll of damp-proof sheeting used in construction. The craftsmen should really cover the floor with it so they don't make everything filthy. I guess that's no big deal while the place is looking like it is. Well, at least it won't rain in anymore. I'll put the stones in the middle of the chamber. That'll give me a small fire hearth. Yeah, that might work. But there's something else I still have to do. That makes enough combustible material for a small fire. Father and son by the campfire. How touching. The water ought to boil soon. And now today, the Turkish variety. I'll crush the tablets first so that they dissolve faster. Stink like a kipper when I get out of here. Not exactly the best deodorant for an unjustly alleged arsonist. Oh, I'm already feeling a bit weird, woozy. I've been wrapped in wool. But that's not enough. Something's still missing. What the hell am I getting into here, for Pete's sake? So what? It's not gonna kill me. And if it does, then I'm already in a tomb, aren't I? Ugh. This is working better than I thought. What? My head. My pills, I need them urgently. Damn it! I never thought it'd be so intense. How long was I out for? Well, anyway, I've seen the ball thing. They hid them here in the tomb. Somewhere in a wall. This mold wasn't here before. Or was it? What can that mean? This figure in my vision has done something with the ball here. Well, that was weird. But anyway, I've got what I wanted. Thanks, Mordred. Problem believing what I'm seeing right now. It worked. The portal's open. The Academy. That brings back some memories. Bad ones. I had kinda hoped to come out in the ritual chamber. Looks like the portal hadn't been completely activated. Not good. The way it's looking, I'm gonna be here longer than I planned for. That must be Lewis. Or what's left of him, at least. Angelina wouldn't have got all that far without his help. He let himself be used by her. Just like I did. But never mind what kind of a guy he was. I still have to feel just a bit sorry for him. Let's see if the guy's got anything else on him, apart from bugs. Keep nice and still. Ugh. Something about this corpse feels quite nicely alive. Must be something to do with the circle of life. A note to Lewis from Angelina. A letter to Lewis from Angelina. Lewis, I've taken care of Valley. She's not gonna cause us any more trouble. You deal with the people at the castle. Best thing would be to just set the place on fire. Obviously, all I need to do is make sure that Spooner finds this note on Lewis's corpse, and that'll mean I'll be off of the hook at last. But it's impossible for me to let him in here. In doing that, I might just as well sell off my family secret and have Mordred tattooed on my forehead. I'll think of something or other. Lewis looks like he's been eaten up a bit. Lewis looks like... These stone flags used to be deadly traps. Once you stepped on one, something would either drop from above or a door would open up. The mechanism's broken now. At least I hope it is. Whoever built the traps certainly didn't go in for half measures. If you got that on your head, you wouldn't have to worry about getting a headache anymore. There are bullet holes all around here. Those Order people must have been going crazy, shooting all over the place. Why would they have been shooting all around themselves? Might it have had something to do with Angelina's ritual? Or were they doing that to make the Academy collapse? Well, whatever. I ought to make sure I get myself out of here in one piece. The last time I was here, there was a black ball lying in this holder. Somebody must have taken it out. I can only hope that it's still lying around here somewhere. Whoa, they've really been having fun around here. The floor's littered with empty cartridges. Someone's fired off magazine after magazine here. Did the Order members want to make the Academy collapse? Well, they were pretty damn successful with the entrance, at least. Normally you'd take this route here, but it looks pretty blocked up. There's a piece of black material. Oh, that must be a member of the Order, killed by the falling rocks and all that chaos. Unrecognizable from here, though. There's a gap here between the stones. But I can't recognize anything. It's much too dark in there. And I can't feel anything either. That ought to do it. Yes, there's the black ball. In a dead person's hand. And behind that, the other opening. If I only had something like a stick, I could push the ball out on the other side. That goes a long way down. There's that weird light again. The collar. You used to be able to open these doors using a mechanism. That's been destroyed, though, to keep them shut forever. It's pretty damn grisly for sure, but... I could use Lewis's arm as an extension to get to the black ball. Good. The ball's a bit closer to the other opening now. Gotcha. Now let's get out of here. Adrian Gordon, Grand Master of Portal Magic. Let's hope that the portal will send me directly to Mordred's book. It worked. I'm in the ritual chamber. Human skulls. Finely hewn from the stone, I hope. There are several holders here. Is it going to be about which one the ball goes into? That would be theoretically, even physically explicable. But I'd rather not try it. Could be the throne of the devil. Whoa, for a moment I thought Mordred was sitting there. No idea what language that is. And I don't really want to know. It certainly can't mean anything good in here. The abyss my mother fell into.
Everything's in the book.
Solo care, posadire.
yourself together, Adrian.
Amena Vei Buzadire. At last, to own a body once again. What unimaginable power. Now I can complete my work. Maria!
Where is he? Where's Daniel? What have you done with our son?
He's dead.
No, please. That can't be.
He was too weak. I wanted to make him stronger. He could have been much more powerful than I.
What have you done?
Out of my way, woman!
No! Is that me? Where am I? In the castle? This has to be the locked room. How the hell did I get in here? Damn blackouts. But Mordred is strong. I can feel him. I don't have a lot of time left. Ugh. Now I can see that I look as bad as I feel. Photos of my ma and pa. They can't help me anymore either. And what have we got here? A pair of pliers. I don't need them right now. A shaky old bed, full of woodworm. Perfect for dying in. There are a few shards lying under the table. There's a rope dangling right in front of the window. Or is it a noose? Better take it, I guess. Hey, I definitely know that from somewhere. The Guardian's highest virtue is faith, as much in himself as in God. These notes, who's writing them to me? Am I writing them myself? Or Mordred? So I didn't dream it. It actually happened. That's the book from the ritual chamber. Mordred's book. The pages are empty. Damn. Can't be.
What the? Everything is in the book, and now there's nothing in the book.
Okay, keep calm. Remember, in the ritual chamber with Angelina, the blood of a male Gordon. If I drop some of my blood onto the book, then the writings ought to become visible. A piece of glass. Ow! Nothing. Not a single letter. Stop. Here. Here's something. Oh, no, it's just Mordred's dumbass summoning formula. All that for nothing. But I have to do something. I can't just let Mordred win. I'd rather be dead than a centuries-old murderer. My father, he's already trodden this path. It might be the simplest way, but it's also the most effective. Without me, there is no Mordred. My death will be his as well. I've got no other choice. The Gordons, centuries-old family. Cursed right down to the very last descendant. And I am him. The story of the Gordons ends with me.
No! Mr. Gordon! Adrian, don't do it!
Go away!
Come down, Adrian. You can't do that. There is another way.
What do you know?
More than you think. I can help you beat the curse. Trust me, please. Come down here. Please!
Who sent you, and why?
My employer is the Vatican. Have you ever heard of the apostolic visitation? We're mainly concerned with supernatural phenomena, what are commonly known as miracles.
The Vatican. There I was, thinking it couldn't get much worse. Then the church comes knocking at the door.
I was sent here because we had been informed that Black Mirror Castle had burned down. It was apparently just a routine mission. I was to sort out legal matters and release the funds for the Gordons to rebuild the castle. But then I found out that Victoria Gordon was on her deathbed, and that Angelina was nowhere to be found. My task then became to secure the Gordons' inheritance and to minimize the effects of the curse as best I could.
The effects of the curse? The Gordon's inheritance?
Adrian, your eyes.
Yeah, I know. They're black. What do you know about the curse of the Gordons?
Mordred wanted immortality and power. He somehow anchored his soul in the mirror, but he was caught during a ritual by his brother. Shortly before his death, he cursed Marcus's descendants to collect souls, in order that he could be called back into life with them. And it would seem it worked, judging by your eyes.
Collect souls? You mean kill people?
Yes.
You're wrong. I haven't killed anyone, and still Mordred lives in me.
As far as I can gather, your twin sister, Angelina, did that for you. We got it all wrong. Angelina was originally supposed to take over the Guardian role. We didn't know anything about you. We thought the last male Gordon committed suicide 12 years ago.
What do you mean, Guardian role? You mean to guard these portals, right?
That is the Gordon's inheritance. The Guardians are people of pure heart who were chosen by the church a long time ago to guard the Black Mirror.
The Black Mirror?
Yes, a great mirror, which also serves as an ancient portal and lies deep beneath the castle. Marcus Gordon took over this duty and passed it on to his children.
But how should a Gordon stay pure of heart if they're all destined to murder?
Your family has produced more guardians than it has murderers. Only Marcus's descendants are in a position to resist the Black Mirror. We still don't know why. However, we don't have any time now to research the exact reason for this, and then find an alternative guardian from outside the Gordon family.
So, I'm definitely your last hope then. How do you know all this?
From the Vatican archives, and also from a book which I found in the library. It's the Book of the Guardians.
There are no longer any Guardians of pure heart here, just Mordred.
Adrian, right from birth, you were destined to become a Guardian. Without Angelina, Mordred's curse would never have passed over to you. Victoria would never have wanted nor permitted you to kill yourself. Do you want to simply ignore her final wishes? Adrian, if you're going to kill yourself, everything could only get worse. If there were no longer any Guardians, then the Black Mirror would be open to all. The mirror would enslave the weak and bring Mordred back into the world of the living. And the Black Mirror will be unprotected. Victoria would have never allowed you to commit suicide. Are you going to simply ignore Victoria's last will?
All right then. I'll give you one chance. Did I understand that correctly? I'm the last Gordon of Marcus's lineage, and therefore also the last Guardian? But I can't guard the portal because a cursed part of me, the Mordred part, wants to open the portal. And if I kill myself, the portal can be opened because there are no more Guardians.
Something like that. Yes.
So, what do you suggest?
An exorcism. In the church.
An exorcism?
It's an ancient ritual. Long before there were Christians, ghosts and demons were being cast out of people. It works. You only have to believe in it, Adrian.
I'm possessed by the devil. Don't talk to me about belief. Okay, I'll do it.
Thank you, Adrian. And now let's go to the church. We should complete the exorcism before nightfall.
So, how does a person get to work for the Vatican?
Later.
Holy Mother in Heaven!
Yeah, a good day to you too, Father.
Prioress Santolini, welcome back. You've arrived at just the right time.
Now do you see why I was in such a hurry?
Miss Antolini has had an idea about how to solve my problem.
Yes, I've been informed. The Archbishop has told me about it himself.
5 minutes later, and you would have had to inform Mark as well.
Father, have you ever performed an exorcism?
I've been the priest for the whole manor of Black Mirror for years. Everyone here has been baptized by me, and my words accompany them to the grave, too. I've taken the confessions of murderers, and I...
Father, have you or haven't you?
No, not in practice. But I do have the theoretical knowledge, of course.
Oh, great. I'm the guinea pig.
Adrian, I've been trained for something like this. I've studied the Rituale Romanum several times. And if Prioress Antolini thinks it's the best option, then I agree with her. After all, she is, well...
I've already told Adrian who I work for, but I'm afraid we don't have time to discuss this for hours on end.
Good. Then let's begin the preparations.
Okay, and what can I do?
We need information. So the more we know about the demon, the better.
We already have his name, so we can address him. Do you know any more about him?
What would be important?
It would be good to know how he sinned. And a personal item. Something that anchors him in this world.
Then I'll get searching.
But be quick. I'll prepare everything with the priest.
Good day, sir.
Edward. I completely forgotten about him. Hi, Edward. I didn't expect you so soon.
If it's inconvenient, I could come back another time.
Why are you here again?
You said I should come by during the course of the day, about an eventual position as butler.
Oh, yes. Excuse me, Edward. As you see, I don't really have time just now, and...
Perhaps I can help you.
Actually, there is something. It would be great if you could deliver this letter to Inspector Spooner. Tell him I found it while tidying up the greenhouse.
Of course, sir.
You're not gonna tell anyone else about it. The thing with my eyes, I mean?
Most certainly not, sir. Discretion is the most important virtue of a butler.
Good man. In other circumstances, he'd be the perfect new Bates. Even if the pages are blank, maybe the book will be useful for the exorcism. Who knows? It did once belong to Mordred, after all. The book from the ritual chamber. No idea how I got this. But that doesn't matter anyway. Many pages are empty. Maybe this was the book that Victoria meant as she was dying. She said that everything was in the book. Damn it, Valentina. I was never able to find it like that. I don't have the time to read everything. But at first glance, it looks like it's just full of stories about the White Lady. It even tells here about how she died. In the final duel with my brother, she threw herself between us to stop the bloodshed, but he was no longer the brother I once knew. That must be a transcript from Marcus's writings.
Ah, Adrian, there you are.
Father Frederick,
My son?
I found a book that belonged to Mordred, but all the pages are blank.
How do you know it belonged to him, then?
It's from his grave.
We can divert his attention from you with it. You'd better give that to me. Have you found out anything else?
Mordred's wife was called Maria.
Ah, that's good to know. Those are worldly, familial things. I'm sure we can address Mordred with that, particularly if he loved her.
Well, he murdered her with a sword.
Oh, that's excellent. For our purposes, I mean. Now we have enough information.
Okay, so what happens now?
Just lie down here and trust in Jesus, our Lord. Miss Antolini, are you recording?
This is the exorcism of Adrian Gordon. Present are Father Frederick, pastor of the Church of Wormhill, as conducting exorcist, and as witness and doctor, Prioress Valentina Antolini.
It has begun. Let us pray.
In nomine
Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti.
Amen.
Amen. Most glorious Prince of the heavenly armies, Saint Michael the Archangel, defend us in our battle against principalities and powers, against the rulers of this world of darkness, against the spirits of wickedness in the high places. Come to the assistance of men whom God has created to his likeness, and whom he has redeemed at a great price from the tyranny of the devil. We know your name, demon, you that calls itself Mordred. Release Adrian, I command you in the name of our Lord.
Stoop down, impure spirit.
Mordred, you who made yourself guilty during life and therefore remain guilty in death and beyond, go to the hell in which you belong. Go into purgatory, where you should burn sinner for all your deeds.
Behold the cross of the Lord.
Mordred, you who has raised the weapon against your brother Marcus, you who murdered your wife with a blade of your sword, Maria, whose soul has found no peace since then.
Behold the cross of the Lord.
Guilty you are, Mordred, and guilty you will always be. Bow beneath the all-powerful hand of God. Release Adrian and go there where you can receive the vengeance of God.
Father Frederick.
I saw it. He spoke to me. It's the wrong place. There's nowhere for him to go here. Not from his world.
Oh, Father. Adrian! Adrian, wake up! Thank you again for helping me bring Adrian to the castle.
But of course, miss. Is there anything else I can do for you?
No, not at the moment.
Then I'll come over again tomorrow. Have a nice day.
See you. As long as Adrian's still asleep, I should let the Archbishop know about the current state of affairs. Mainly lexicons and biographies about British lords. I found the book about the Guardians here. Mainly, I let the dictaphone run during the exorcism. I can't understand a word, even though I understand quite a few languages. But that must be a very, very old one. A mighty pillar. The wooden cladding is decorated with carvings. A mighty pillar. There's only English literature here. It's for an emergency, in case... Yeah, well, Mordred attacks me. Matches. They're from a cafe in London where I met the Archbishop a few days ago. The Bible gave me much strength when I needed it. I think everyone should read it at least once. The Gordon file from the Vatican Archives. The last entry is from 1923. It notes the handing over of the Guardian position to Victoria Gordon. Right at the front of the file is a copy of a letter from Marcus Gordon. In it, he says that the entrance to the Shade Portal is sealed with an altar. The underground chapel was consecrated and prevents the shades from entering the catacombs. The floor of the library is higher than the rest of the rooms on the ground floor. Perhaps the secret entrance is hidden under it, or maybe just old-fashioned underfloor heating. The floor, perhaps the Gordon family tree. Many of the Guardians were women: Isabella, Emily, Rosa, but also Marcus Gordon, Albert, and Durham. There are records on them in the Vatican Library. Your Grace, this is Prioress Antolini. There were complications. The exorcism failed. No, I don't think that was the reason. Yes. Yes, but that only makes sense if the demon is unknown. Correct, Your Grace. We underestimated his strength. Father Frederick is dead. He was thrown across the room, and Okay. No. The Guardian is doing well considering the circumstances. Yes, Your Grace. I understand. I also think that the location is crucial. The Guardian had an image of Pictish glyphs with him, the same as those engraved on the Shade Portal. That's exactly where the demon must be forced back. Yes, into the Black Mirror. It'll be no problem to get there. The demon itself tries to force its way to the mirror. It's drawn to it like a magnet. He won't cause us any problems until then. On the contrary, Guardian and demon will be hard to keep apart. Yes, that's the other side of the coin. But, Your Grace, the man is probably the only one who can fulfill this task. Yes. Is there an alternative to exorcism? Of course, I'll do that. All right then. First, I have to find the entrance to the catacombs under the castle. A chapel is mentioned in the records, which is found down there. That's where I guess the Black Mirror is. Yes. Yes. Thank you, Your Grace. Thank you. Good. As long as Adrian is still asleep, I can start looking for a way in. Most secret passageways in old walls have the characteristic of not being sealed completely airtight. That could help me. There you go. The flame flickers here. There's a draft. And this room has no windows. I guess there's a cavity behind or in the pillar. But how do I get at it? Why didn't I think of that sooner? This plate can be removed. There's a metal wall behind it. And there's a strangely shaped hole in it too. A keyhole, I guess. The hole is the shape of a cogwheel. A normal key definitely doesn't fit in here. Lady Victoria was always very vigilant when I was in the room. I hardly had the chance to have a look around. Well, she'd understand now. Victoria's dressing room. The only area in this room I could have a look at. But in vain, though. There really are only clothes here. I completely forgot about the machines. As soon as all of this is over, just a minute. There's a syringe here with adrenaline in it. I'll take it with me just in case of an emergency. The image of a beautiful woman. I'm thinking that must be Maria. Those are all things that were close to Victoria's heart. But there's nothing of interest to me there, though. Even though she was really ill in her final days, she still set great store in keeping a well-groomed appearance. There's only jewelry in here. 2 necklaces, a pair of earrings, and rings. It's all silver and stylish. The jewelry case weighs at least 5 kilos. And what is that? There's some kind of flap on the underside. But how do I open it? I can't see any keyhole or anything like that. I'll show it to Adrian as soon as he's awake. Perhaps he knows something about it. Adrian, how are you doing?
Hungover. What happened?
You suddenly lost consciousness during the exorcism.
Did it work? Is Mordred gone? What about my eyes? Are they still black?
There were a few complications.
So, it didn't work?
Unfortunately not. It doesn't seem Mordred can be cast out with prayers alone.
Strange. It always seems to work in the movies.
Maybe it was the wrong script.
The Bible. Yeah.
Your eyes are normal again. At least for the moment. But I'm afraid that it won't stay like that for long.
I guessed as much. Why am I in the castle? I thought it wasn't safe here.
That's true, but I had no other choice. Edward helped me bring you here.
Edward? And where is Father Frederick?
He's still in the church. We're going back to him, Nate. Father Frederick is out of it. Mordred's power was too much for him. We'll have to be quick if we're going to save you.
What are we waiting for then? I feel almost good. At least I'm ready for the final spurt.
I have another idea of how we can get rid of Mordred. But for that, we must go to the Black Mirror, where the curse began.
Where everything began. Victoria told me exactly that, shortly before she died. I should go to where everything began, but I've got no idea where that is and how to get there.
I found something interesting in the library. I think it's some kind of secret door to the catacombs.
A secret door in the library? Let me guess. It's locked, right? And you've got no idea how to open it.
I was hoping you could help me.
Why not? I haven't got anything else planned.
Have you got any idea how to open this? I mean the secret compartment on the bottom. Seems to be a very complicated mechanism. Yes, of course, there's that way too. The sword hilt fits perfectly, but nothing happens. A golden sword hilt from Victoria's jewelry casket. It's decorated with 4 gemstones, probably rubies. There's a 5th socket there too, but it seems there's a stone missing.
There's not much use for the map at the moment. In this weather, I sure need a good reason to be leaving the castle. Valentina.
Yes.
The room in which Mordred crossed over into me. Do you know anything about it?
What kind of room is it?
A kind of ritual chamber. Skulls everywhere, a throne.
They investigated a ritual chamber in the old academy, but all the records were lost in a fire around 1512. And the knowledge of it was lost in the process as well. So no, I know even less about it than you do.
So what actually is this black mirror then?
We think it's a kind of portal.
And where does it lead?
Nobody knows exactly, and it's a dangerous thing to investigate. Mordred tried, but the black mirror enslaved them. Pope Innocent III believed it might lead to the destruction of Christianity. What we know for sure is that it's older than anything else on Earth.
I thought it might have been built by pagan druids or something like that.
It's much, much older than that. The druids used it for ceremonies, yes, but they definitely didn't build it. It's been there since the dawning of time, so they say.
Holy crap. So what is it then?
We can only speculate. The mirror attracts evil, or how should I put it? Absorbs it. According to the old druidic scriptures, there were regular human sacrifices. Apparently, the altar table in front of the Black Mirror portal was already drenched in century-old blood back then. The souls of the sacrifices are drawn into the mirror, but only if they're absolutely evil. The soul of a good person cannot enter the mirror. It seems to be something like... yes, like...
The gateway to hell, perhaps?
yes. And no, not just the gate, but glancing into it reveals the innermost self. It reflects the soul for everyone to see.
I wonder what the Pope would see if he looked into it. And all the dignitaries of the world. No wonder the entrance has to be guarded. But times have changed. Why don't we just have a look at the thing? Purely scientifically, I mean.
Evil can also break out of the mirror. Its effect is unbound. You can feel its power yourself. Who's ever susceptible is enticed into evil. That's why life in the castle is so dangerous. It's right within its sphere. Mordred was changed. The spark of evil. He did everything he could to open the portal. Rumors suggest that he almost found the mechanism.
Someone's leaving me messages describing the virtues of a guardian. You don't happen to know anything about that, do you?
I wrote them. They were tests to see if you could become the next guardian in spite of the curse. I had assumed that apart from Victoria, there was only Angelina, but she was nowhere to be found. There was no time. Victoria lay on her deathbed. She was the last guardian. It had to be settled. When we heard that you were maintaining that you were a Gordon and were also innocent of any crime, then the Vatican changed its plan. We had to assure ourselves that you were still of pure heart, and you passed all the tests.
But you weren't there.
True. I wasn't there.
All right, Miss Undercover. I think we still need something here for the sword hilt to work.
It's not working. You think that's because of the missing gemstone?
Could be possible. The question is, where is this stone? Could be anywhere. Could have been lost hundreds of years ago.
I don't think so. If the key had been broken for a long time, why did Victoria hide it? No. I think the stone is missing intentionally, as an added safeguard.
Yeah, but where should we start looking?
Did Victoria give you anything before she died? An heirloom, jewelry, a signet ring?
Not to me, but Angelina.
What?
Her bracelet. She showed it to me. Yes, I remember well. There were rubies on it, too. Perhaps we need one of them?
And where is the bracelet now?
The police evidence locker.
Then get it. We don't have much time.
Someone's broken the door in with an axe by the look of it. Damn. Looks as though Tom has been here. Ugh. God damn it. There are some things you just don't want to see. I'd better get out of here.
Rain, rain, go away. Tomorrow will be a rainy day.
Damn.
Then comes the snow. Don't you know?
Ralph? That you? Ralph!
I was only playing with him.
Ralph! What happened? Am I hearing voices of the dead? Or was that really Ralph? Strange.
Adrian! It's done. Case closed. Angelina's letter convinced the judge completely.
Some good news.
A lot more than that. And is there anything I can do for you?
Any new developments in the Tom case?
None. That piece has disappeared. Not even Bobby's seen anything of him.
Would it affect your transfer if you found him?
What a question. Of course it would. The faster the... Hey, you've not just...
Well, if I were you, when it stops raining, I'd get myself over to the shack in the woods, over at Warm Hill, and take a closer look around.
Have you actually found his hiding place? If things get too boring for you up at the castle, I could do with a good constable.
Thanks, but I've had to answer to a higher calling. Now with the case closed, all of the pieces of evidence are no longer required, right?
In theory, not anymore, no.
Then it wouldn't be a problem if I got the bracelet back. You do know that it's a family heirloom.
I'll see what I can do.
Thanks.
Zach!
Hmm? Please.
How's it looking with your transfer?
Now that's lying on my boss's desk. And knowing him like I do, he's gonna let me stew for a while. But it'll come through sooner or later.
Goodbye.
Fare thee well, my lord.
I'll just leave. I'll just leave him in peace. A whole load of photos of my family. A pair of pliers. I'll take those and the candle. I don't need the other stuff right now. One ruby's enough. The ruby fits exactly into the socket on the hilt of the sword. I wouldn't know what I might add. Gonna need the right key for that. There's a spiral staircase here. I can't see how far down it goes. It has to be a good few stories. Ladies first.
Are you scared? Or are you exercising your role as Lord of the Manor?
The Guardian isn't allowed to die. Those were your words. I'm just playing it safe. That's supposed to be the catacombs? Looks like the sewer system.
Patience. This is just the beginning.
There are high... Here's an illustration of a house, a jar. Here's a pitchfork and a flower. There's a bird and a head chiseled in here. There's a fish and a hand on this column. I think that's supposed to be a house, or a shack. A bird relief. The whole thing could be some kind of cistern. It collects rainwater from all over the castle. It's brought here and then goes stagnant. No, there has to be an outflow somewhere as well. In this environment, there can only be a whirlpool. Huh, the water's been standing there for some time. I reckon that's the remains of the water from putting out the fire. At any rate, it's not normal sewage. Valentina.
Yes.
Do any of these symbols around us mean anything to you?
These symbols look like Pictish glyphs. Obviously an ancient form of writing, more than 6,000 years old. So I'm wondering what business have they got being on these walls?
Maybe one of my ancestors thought they looked nice? Do you know what they mean?
Sort of. But don't ask me how you vocalize them.
I can't see any other exit here. Can you?
Looks like we're in a dead-end street.
But it can't be, though. It has to continue somewhere. Maybe there's another secret passage.
Certainly not out of the question. Keep your eyes open.
The bucket is half full of a white salt, probably from when it's icy. I'll take a handful of grit salt with me, just in case I have to help some old grandma cross an icy street. So now I've got the option to connect something up down there. A candle for the dead. Here's the end of the extension cable. Energy. There's a thick electric cable hanging from the roof, just above a puddle of water. Greg was right. It isn't safe down here. Empty. I'm guessing that they used to store wine or beer here back in the day. Those days are long gone, though. Boxes of empty wine bottles. Just in case there's a life for me after Mordred, I'm gonna give this castle a real cleanup and throw it all of this old junk. Well, I'll hand the job over to Edward, of course. A shelf of wine bottles. As far as I can tell, they're all still full. 1953. Either extremely valuable. There are only busted boxes and barrels back there. I guess that's the main switch for the electricity in the cellar. Who needs fuses if you've got such a big lever? There are drains under the puddles, but the sewer system couldn't cope with the huge volume of extinguishing water. The water isn't draining away anymore. If it weren't for me being a former student of physics, I'd call that kind of action suicide. Now the end of the cable's hanging directly in the water. I'll give the pepper and chilies a miss. The puddle's seasoned enough. Valentina! Can you hear me?
Yes?
There are metal grates lying around the well. No idea what they're for. There are metal grates. Cellars are often used as the last resting place for all sorts of heavy junk, and it's no different in British castles. At first glance, there's nothing useful leaping out at me here. At the second one, too. Valentina!
Yes?
Must be a seriously heavy water bucket if you need a chain like that to lift it. That's the water pump, which they use to pump away the extinguishing water. It's a real monster, and ancient, too. I'm surprised that thing even works. Quite a clear design. The motor's on the right, the pump device is on the left. The two are connected with a long shaft. The wire rope is wrapped tightly around the pipe. I guess it's an earth for the water pump. I'll put the cable into the connecting terminal on the pump. If I wrap the chain around the drive shaft, I could use the water pump as a winch. I hope the motor's powerful enough. No idea what kind of pipes those are. Water or sewage, I guess. There are two huge water basins here. They must go back to when they had no running water. You can turn the pump on and off with that. You can even adjust the direction of rotation and the speed. Theoretically, I could pump the cellar full of water again, slowly or quickly. I think that's the power connection for the water pump. I guess there were no power plugs back then. Oh, that's just one pole. Does this thing use direct current? So that thing on the pipes isn't an earth. It's probably the second pole. The power cable is now hanging through the grill and straight into the water. The electricity is on. I should be careful where I step and what I touch. The electricity is off again. The electricity is on. I should... I can't wind the chain anymore. Something's blocked.
What are you up to? I'm impressed.
May I tie you up?
What? No!
That was a joke. And what are we gonna do with it now? Any ideas? I wouldn't know what I might.
There's nothing. The sewer system under the castle couldn't deal with all that firefighting water. 3 weeks ago, the water in the cellar was still up to my knees. It'll be months before anyone will be without diving equipment. The well shaft probably leads directly down into the catacombs. But it's blocked with a grill down there, so you're not going... The wonderful cutlery didn't survive the fire very well. I've stored the remains in boxes upstairs.
Damn, and I thought I'd pulled the plug out of the bath. What the heck? Good to know. I could lock up unwelcome visitors in here.
It really would have been better to have taken... I doubt that people were locked up in the cage. I doubt that people... Adrian?
Hmm?
I don't think that's a cage, in the usual sense.
How come? Isn't it a wonderful torture device, especially with the water?
Oh, right. So that's your interpretation of a normal cage usage.
Don't forget, I'm being possessed by an 800-year-old tyrant.
That's too dangerous. I'm not going to know up here what Adrian's doing down there. If he's in a cage, he could drown. That's too dangerous. If he's in a... That's too dangerous. If he's in a... I'll fasten the rope up here so we don't lose it. Then I'll drop the free end down the well. The rope's hanging in the well. The rope's hanging in...
If I pull on the rope, that ought to be visible up above. If I...
That's too dangerous. If he's in a cave... Can't get any... The wine barrel. Adrian? I've got the rope hanging down the well. We could communicate with that. Just pull on it and I'll switch on the winch.
Good idea.
I'll wait on Adrian's signal.
Okay, hold your breath. That was close. It's just getting better and better here.
Adrian? Adrian! Is everything alright?
Yeah, everything's fine. I'm okay. Just a little touch and go, that's all.
Is everything really? Wow. I've never seen anything like this. Isn't that just so impressive?
Well, I'm so glad you like my humble wine cellar. A rusty helmet. Somebody probably lost it. There's a rusty broken sword lying on the ground here. No idea how that could have got here.
Oh, forged by an expert hand.
Adrian, what have you got there?
Regrettable that the passing of time has taken its toll on such a fine weapon. It's no more than a rusty bar of steel, yet the hilt has lasted well. I will.
Adrian,
What?
what's happening to you?
I've no idea. I must have blacked. Looks like an offering dish to me. Oops. There's a metal capsule hanging between the chain links. Is that a little Doa? A hole the size of a hand. No idea how deep it is. There's a small boat here. There's something different about this tablet. There's only one of these reliefs here. A strange death's head with a huge mouth? No idea what that's supposed to be. A strange 7 people standing around the place. Oh no, 3 of them are lying down. Are they sleeping or are they dead? A whole load of symbols. Fish, crown, no idea, bones, and so on. A stone coffin, I'm thinking.
What are you doing?
I'm opening the coffin?
Have you ever heard of rest in peace?
What? When there could be something inside that's vital to our mission?
I just don't think this is right. Not one bit.
can't get the lid open any further, but it's moved enough to see inside. Pretty damn dusty. There's not much left of the corpse. There's an arrowhead in here. Still looks pretty good. There's a weird disc thing lying among the bones.
That looks like a round shield a warrior might use.
Something sticking out of the dust. A piece of jewelry, shaped like a fish. There are only a few bones in here, nothing else. It seems to continue here. Valentina, you coming?
Wait,
Yeah?
you see that there?
Yeah. Those aren't hieroglyphics.
That's Latin. Your ancestors must have written that.
And what does it say exactly?
A warning. Beware, guardians of the shades. They will take possession of your soul as soon as you venture into...
Shades? Is that some kind of metaphor?
No, I don't think so. In the Book of Guardians, it said that Marcus had to battle through an army of shades that his brother had summoned out from the mirror.
Makes sense. First Mordred, now Shades. Well, my soul's not gonna get bored, that's for sure. This is one proper labyrinth. Where now? Straight ahead or to the right?
Did you see that? In the room ahead.
What is that?
No idea, but it's moving.
Is that one of those shades?
Whatever it is, we shouldn't get too close to it. Be a good idea to close the door.
Huh? How did you know that the switch was the right one?
I didn't. That's what you call putting your faith in God.
I need Valentina's help for that. I need Valentina's help. Dust, bones, and a crown. That has to be a king's grave.
Or a thief's. One that stole a king's crown.
Ugh, the whole niche is full of human skulls. Well, not quite. Here's a bowl, rather nicely decorated. There's only dust in here. Oh, and a weird-shaped staff.
Looks like it could be like the ones that the bishops carry. Or shepherds.
Valentina.
Yes.
I can't leave Valentina back here. of the dish is hanging right in the middle. So it is a door. And inside the capsule there's a golden key. Or maybe just gilded. Another gold key. Looks like all of the capsules have gold keys in them. I've got no idea how many of them there are. I really ought to find out what's going on with all this stuff. Looks like all of the capsules have gold keys. I've got no idea how... Looks like all of the I've got no idea. Looks like all of... I've got no idea. Ah, it fits here. I'm guessing that the keys in the other capsules could well... The locks are all undone. We ought to be able to open the door now. Walls full of skulls. Who were these dead people and where are their bones? Did someone just take their heads? How come? And why are all the statues headless? Is there a connection? The closer we come to the truth, the more questions seem to come up. The guy with no head again. This time, times 4. Did somebody not like him all that much? Mordred, maybe? He went round with his sword going chop, chop, chop. That goes a hell of a long way down. This light reminds me of the cavern under the stone circle. Could there be a huge cave system under Willow Creek? Highway to hell. Damn, the route is crumbling. I hope it's gonna hold out for a bit.
I think we've reached the chapel.
I almost feel like I've come home here.
No. This chapel was built by Marcus and Mordred. It was their last cooperative work. It really is a sacred place.
But Mordred used it for his own dark purposes.
I doubt that.
A skeleton.
Those are Maria's remains, Mordred's wife.
How do you know that?
That's a female skeleton. And you can see the sword tip in the ribcage. It broke off when Mordred murdered his wife.
You're right. No idea how deep the water is here, but I'm guessing that we're a long way below the water level. A stone coffin with a skeleton in it.
If we were to believe the Book of the Guardians, that was once Mordred.
Hey Mordred, how does it feel to be looking into your own grave?
Huh, you two are getting closer. Please excuse me.
Mordred's grave. Mordred's grave. This passage is full of rubble. The purest preaching platform. But for what kind of an audience? Nobody was supposed to find their way here. Everything's very weird. There's a whole bunch of hieroglyphics on the altar.
There's a sentence in Latin chiseled here. It means, at sunrise, the king sent his warriors into battle against the darkness. Unusual for an altar engraving.
Is that any use to us?
I don't know. Perhaps. We're definitely not in the catacombs anymore. This looks more like an alchemy laboratory.
I've been here before.
Mordred?
No, as a child. I've got a kind of faint memory of it.
Have a look around. Perhaps it'll come back to you more strongly.
Yeah. That's it. That's the hole that Angelina fell into as a child. I climbed in after her, but it's blocked up now. No wonder I couldn't find it up on the surface.
And how did you two get back out of there? Through the catacombs?
No. Bates. Oh, it was him. He got us out and then filled in the hole. But before that, we were at the portal. We were standing right in front of it. It's behind this door.
Had Angelina opened it?
I'm not sure anymore.
These are the best blades in the land, forged by the most skillful of smiths. Much too good for those butchers that my brother calls soldiers.
Adrian, you're scaring me. Please, put that away.
And yet, they're nothing compared to my sword.
Adrian, stop it!
Huh? What?
It's all right. Everything's okay. Just put the sword down and then everything will be fine. From now on, we'll have to watch out you don't pick up a sword again, okay? You're not going to go near a sword again, Adrian. Do you understand? We don't want you having an accident or anything, do we?
Okay, Sister Valentina. Is there a reason you're talking to me like some kind of wacko?
None. Apart from the fact that you look like one and are behaving like one. Your eyes have turned black again, and you're fiddling about with a sword, and you're speaking like Mordred. Now then, please do us both a favor and keep your fingers away from sharp-edged weapons.
Valentina.
Yes.
Have you got any idea what all this machinery and stuff down here is for?
That's a perfectly equipped alchemy laboratory. Mordred was a man of science.
He's certainly not going to be able to help me with my physics studies. Alchemists were only bothered about creating gold.
That's not correct. There were definitely alchemists who worked on other things too.
Oh yeah, opening demon gates.
They also tried to concoct healing potions, or the opposite.
They were definitely more successful at the latter. Whoa, a real witch's kitchen. Mordred would definitely have ended up being burned at the stake sooner or later. Whoa. There are water basins everywhere here. Mordred must have been a bit of a clean freak. Great. Even more tea kettles. Those are really nasty looking gargoyles. Worse than those fiendish things from the academy. Whoa, a real witch. A lectern. What kind of a book is that? Homunculus pater omnis delesmi totius? Ugh, no idea. All in Latin. That's a depiction of a soul key. Prima materia, planet metals, basilisk. Welcome to Discworld. It's better for me to keep my hands off them. Valentina.
Yes.
Are you gonna let me take a look at your dagger?
What? No, definitely not.
I think I know how to open the door. It's quite simple.
All right then. I hope you know what you're doing. What are you doing there?
There was a door in the academy. It could only be opened with the blood of a Gordon. My blood. When I wanted to help Angelina as a child back then, I cut myself. That's why I was able to open the door.
Gordon blood. One further reason why only you can be the Guardian. Let me go.
Why?
I don't know what might happen when Mordred sees its beloved mirror again. Think about that thing with the sword.
Okay. Can you see that?
Yes.
What does it mean? Is that Mordred? Or is that me? Why do I have the urge to touch the mirror?
It's Mordred who wants to make you do that. Don't touch the mirror, ever!
Okay.
The reflection shows your soul, and the part of Mordred that's within you.
Mordred? Why does he look like one of these shades?
Mordred's soul is still trapped behind the mirror. What you have in you is the shade of Mordred's soul. We somehow got to send Mordred's soul back into the Black Mirror, and do that without setting it free.
Okay. But how then? Haven't we just had an exorcism that went all wrong?
No, not an exorcism. Are you sure there's nothing in Mordred's book you've overlooked?
Yeah, absolutely. I can show it to you if you want. These pages. There's some writing appearing. That must be Mordred's notes. But how come there's something there all of a sudden?
The mirror must have activated it, maybe?
If you believe my ancestors, it's soul transfer. Mordred's soul shade in me. Yes, of course. That's his plan. He's lured me here so that his ritual can be completed, and his soul can cross over into my body. That's exactly what the curse has been for.
Only Mordred hadn't reckoned with his soul shade landing in a Guardian's body. That's the only reason you've held out for so long.
But that doesn't help us all that much. If we release this shade that's inside me, Mordred's soul will then enter me.
Shh. Adrian, I think I've got an idea. Let me think about it for a minute. I know from the Vatican files that there were human sacrifices here, in order to see if their souls were good or evil. The same sort of idea as witch burning. Mordred wrote that a soul could leave the mirror if its shade was already bound here. So, if Adrian were to die here, then Mordred would win. Adrian's soul would have been freed from eternity, and his body back. We have to get Mordred's soul shade out of Adrian one way or another. We absolutely have to make sure Mordred's actual soul can't leave the mirror, and Adrian's soul has to stay where it is.
Sounds right.
This altar has so much blood on it. Adrian's reflection is a mix of his own soul and Mordred's soul shade. I don't have any better way of describing it. There's absolutely no way Adrian's soul, but what is on the other side? Only Mordred's soul? Or has Adrian got one of those soul shades as well? Adrian, can you read me the section about the shades from the Book of the Guardians, please?
The ancients' graves are watched over by their...
A shade is created in every case when somebody dies, but not in this world. but behind the mirror. This altar. It feels like this cavern has been here since the dawn of time. I don't know who or what they're supposed to represent. They're really imposing. There's nothing to do. Adrian, have another look in Mordred's book. Maybe there's more there now.
I did not want him to die. I wanted to save... Rituals, experiments with a sword. What the hell was Mordred doing here?
It sounds like he was trying out an ancient druidic soul transfer ritual on his own son.
A soul transfer? He simply murdered him.
Does it give the procedure for the ritual in the book by any chance?
No.
Adrian's shade needs a weapon to conquer Mordred, but I'm afraid that an ordinary blade isn't going to do the job. Mordred's already dead, and you can't pass a weapon through the mirror just like that. Wait, Adrian, what was that just now in Mordred's book about his sword?
It says, strange is the black stain on the blade. Since its contact with the other side, the black is spreading inexorably. And here, it appears that I have created a shade for it. That could mean that I could use it on the other side.
That's it. We need Mordred's sword.
Can't be all that difficult. Find a sword with a black stain.
I could give Adrian something to really slow his heartbeat down, like a poison. Then, that would have to free Mordred's soul from Adrian's body. But then, Adrian's soul would be freed as well, and he'd die. It could be possible to resuscitate him with adrenaline. I will only have to give him a small shot into a vein soon after. At that time, Mordred wasn't in a position to do that. Nobody knew about adrenaline back then. Today, it's possible. It's dangerous for sure, but it's the only possibility I can see right now. I'd better not say anything about it to Adrian, for now. I could give Adrian something to really slow his heartbeat down, like a poison. Then, that would have to free Mordred's soul from Adrian's body. But then, Adrian's soul would be freed as well, and he'd die. It could be possible to resuscitate him with adrenaline. I will only have to give him At that time, Mordred wasn't in a position to do that. It's dangerous for sure. I'd better not say anything about it to him. They must have the Tabula Smaragdina here, the fundamental text for alchemy. Iko. Here it is. The Smaragdina tablet, the alchemist's Bible. But I'd better not touch the book. It would fall apart at the smallest touch, like nearly everything here. A stove. That's not ordinary soil. Looks like there is tar mixed in with it. Somebody wanted to be sure. That's an offering dish. So this statue is probably a representation of a priest. Mordred's remains. According to Mordred, he used the bones of the dead to bring their shades into this world and then keep them here. So, we could lure Mordred's shade out of Adrian by using his bones, just like you once did with that king. Adrian, we need Mordred's bones for the ritual. Can you do that?
Yeah? In one piece?
Just remember how they all go together, and then lay them on the altar in the same layout. Okay, I think I know how we're going to do this.
I can't wait.
Right. The Black Mirror seems to be a portal into another world, a kind of shade world. If a human dies anywhere near the portal, then a shade is born. At the same time, there are two possibilities for that person's soul. If they were of pure heart, their soul shade remains behind the Black Mirror, and their soul
flies shade free up to heaven?
It's free, yes, but if that person was evil, then their soul is sucked from their shade.
And then?
It's trapped. The souls in the mirror are slaves to the shades. They can become their instruments to be exploited.
Oh, that means that the shades are only evil if their soul was too.
Marcus was supposed to have battled his way through an army of shades before he killed his brother. Mordred has found out how to bring shades through the portal.
Okay, but Mordred's shade is already out. You can see that clearly from my reflection.
Correct. Therefore, his soul is more or less defenseless and alone behind the mirror, and is just waiting until it can come through.
And that might happen if I touch the mirror. Is that it?
Therefore, we can bind Mordred's shade to his mortal remains. And then your shade, Adrian, can take over Mordred's soul. Or even better.
My shade? I thought a shade only comes into being when somebody dies.
You do have to die.
Okay, and why didn't you let me jump from the roof then? That would have been more comfortable.
Then you would be irretrievably dead. Adrian, I will resuscitate. If your body shuts down for a few minutes, your soul will... How can I say this? Be free. I know there are plenty of near-death experience reports, which confirm this. A soul shade will generate simultaneously on the other side of the mirror.
Won't that cause some kind of brain damage?
Don't worry, Adrian. The human brain can get by for a few minutes without a heartbeat. Your soul will return to your body just as... It's not the first time I've come across this. Near-death experiences are usually what has happened when people believe that God has spoken to them.
Okay, and then? Is my soul shade supposed to...
We know that Mordred has made the sword usable on the other side. To put it better, the soul-like mirror reflection. You'll take it to the other side and be able to kill Mordred's soul with it. Shades are strong.
Have I got this right? Souls are strong here, and the soul shades are weak?
Exactly, and the other way around too. Which means that Mordred's soul is very weak on the other side.
Well, that sounds like there's some absurd logic to it. And what's the story with Mordred's shade
We'll
then?
keep it outside the mirror using the bones, so that it can't cross over to defend his soul. After that, the same thing ought to happen to the shade that happens to
It'll
us.
go back into the mirror.
But there would still be a problem.
Yeah?
You need Mordred's sword, and apart from the broken tip. I don't know.
In the book, there was something about a blackness that came out from the sword.
Of course. That's why Greg and Steve had problems with that. The tea room, the fungus. There was a constant problem there with the damage, apparently, coming from the...
Then the sword has to be there. I'll go and get
Stop. You're not going to lay a hand on any kind of sword, and especially not one of Mordred's. I'll get it. I need to get the book from the library anyway. One about poisons. These down here are somewhat out of date.
And what am I supposed to do in the meantime?
You could lay out Mordred's skeleton on the altar. See you soon.
I can never remember the arrangement of the bones. I hardly ever paid attention in biology. I can never remember.
With a little imagination, you can see the fungus mark is in the shape of a sword. That has to be the right place. The wall's only being held together by wallpaper. The rest of it is totally rotten. One sword with a broken tip. Mordred's sword. Mordred's sword. Centuries old. The tip's broken off.
There are just too few pictures of you, Mordred. I'll just take the big bones. All the bones from the hands and feet have already turned to dust. I hope that's not gonna upset Mordred's soul shade. I have to deal with more. I'll put the bones down first, so it's easier to sort them. Right, so let's see how good my anatomical knowledge is. Yep, that looks right. That ought to fit like that. Those are the same statues as in the room with the scales. Oh. Maud.
There are only Victoria's papers here. Bank statements, bills, and so on. They're of no use. A statue. A plain mark? I didn't even. Greg was... I still need the book about poisons from the library. After that, I'll go back to Adrian. Hopefully he was able to put Mordred's skeleton. I still... After that...
That definitely... Does I have to deal with Maud? That's the tip of when Maria stood in the way, he murdered her. Oh, a real witch's kick. Oh.
I've got the sword. Have you done it?
Mordred's skeleton's lying ready on the altar.
Good. Are the bones lying like they were before?
Head at the top, legs at the bottom. I reckon so. Have we got everything we need?
Looks like it. The poison's ready as well.
Is it gonna hurt?
Probably not. It paralyzes the heart muscle, but don't worry. I've got a syringe full of adrenaline here to bring you back to the land of the living.
Sounds like one of Phil's torture experiments, with me taking the Ralph role.
It'll be okay, Darren. Put your trust in God. Now, I'm going to get the poison, and then we can get started. The book is open. Is that a coincidence, or was Mordred busy creating an artificial life? Poison. It slows down the circulation and then the heart stops. Pain-free. I've had to do this all rather quickly, unfortunately. But the books in the library say it ought to work. A sublimation vessel for using in Athenor, a special alchemist's oven. I've never seen such a good one before. Bellissima. Hacked out the stone wall and filled with only the lighting makes me a little... Interesting stonemasonry. The faces are supported by hands. Even more cupels and serpentines. Could represent a scepter. Good. You have to drink this.
Wait, if I don't manage to finish off Mordred, what happens then?
You have to win. It's your only chance. If you don't manage it, he'll kill you and his soul will take over your body.
How are you gonna know if I've done it? What I mean is, when will you resuscitate me?
I'm going to have to give you the adrenaline within 5 minutes at the latest, or else you'll die. Adrian, you have to do it.
All right. Valentina?
Yes.
See you later.
Yes. See you later, Adrian. Something's not right. Oh god, that's Mordred's soul. And that isn't Adrian's soul shade. I think he's done it. I need to get him back quickly, or else he'll be gone forever. Oh no, it's not working. Adrian! Adrian, come back! Thank God, you're alive.
What happened? I feel sort of different.
You've beaten Mordred, and the curse along with him. You've done it.
Really? The curse is finally broken?
Yes. The last of the Gordons has done it. Let's get out of this place and never come back. And how are you getting on?
Pretty well, I think. I'm done with the main points. Now I just have to get everything across into the Book of the Guardians. Do you want to have a look for yourself?
If I may.
Here, I'm not sure about this last point.
That's already a good beginning. When are you going to put it into the Book of the Guardians?
Not before I eat. Anyway, now I know what all those black balls were about.
I can't wait.
Mordred writes in his book that he had carried out a soul transfer ritual, but instead of all the bones, he had only used the skull and one black ball. The shade didn't go back into the mirror anymore after that, but always stayed close by the ball.
Ah, then you can trap souls with these balls as well. To all intents and purposes, they can be thought of as the body, right?
It gets better. Here, with the help of the soul trapped in the ball, one can, to a certain extent, control the shade. He writes that he put a ball in his brother's bedchamber under the bed in the hope that the shade would rob his soul in the night. But that didn't work. He suggests that Marcus's soul was too pure for the shade. What do you think? Do you think there are still shades going around today, doing all their evil stuff?
I don't know. But if there are, then it's your job to stop them.